So let's take a look at compositing everything together. So let's grab a read node, and I'm going to grab, so this is the render that I just did. I've just got the 5 frames there just for, you know, for showing you for the compositing. Okay, so just got the few frames there. We can take a look at it nice and close up so we can see all the nice detail. Looks great. Okay, also want to read in all the other layers that we have, so you'll have these available as well. So I've got them all here. Okay, so we're going to have beauty, which is the helicopter itself. Let's grab that. We'll have to change the timeline because we've it's been set to this. So if I just press S here, my frame range, I want to set it to 1 to 80. Okay, perfect. And the size format, 1920 by 1080. Great. Okay, so the beauty, yeah, we've got the, well, actually the whole, got these, some trees there, a helicopter, and the rocks and the ground there. Okay, we've also got a sorry, not in there, excuse me. Yeah, we got this alpha that we need to we're going to be using that to cut the fire. Okay, cut the explosion, our render that we've got. So I'm going to grab that. That's just an alpha, and I'm going to just kind of organize these to how I want them. And last, oh no, we got another 2, sorry, not last one. We've got the background layer, okay, which is just this kind of sky and mountains in the distance. And then also we have some trees to go in the front as well. Okay, so we'll start by taking a look at this, kind of cutting these out, okay, so that they fit with these rocks. Okay, so obviously the explosion is behind here, and we want these rocks and these rocks to kind of hide this fire, right? So if you notice, if we go to frame, what do we have here? So at these frames, these rocks are going to be hiding that fire, right? And we're going to use this. If we press A, by the way, I'm pressing 1 there in case you didn't know, to visualize. Yeah. So the alpha layer here, if I press A, that will show me the alpha. You can see it's changing up there. Is a kind of like a mask that we can use to cut that out. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to first invert this. So tab, invert. I will just invert everything. Okay, and then I'm going to use a copy, channel copy. Okay, so I'm going to copy that over into here, but I'm not going to, because I want to save the alpha that I've got here, so I don't want to just overwrite it with this. So I'm going to copy it into another layer, into mask A. Okay, so that means I've got the alpha and mask A here, so we should be able to see them. Right, so we've got the alpha here and this alpha both in this stream now. Okay, so I press A to bring that back. Now if I pre-melt this by that mask, then that will cut away the edge there. So connect that up, and we're going to pre-melt not by the alpha but by that mask A. And then if we visualize that, you'll see it just getting cut off there, right? So if I press D to disable this node, you'll see the effect. There we go, that's it pretty much. So we disable it, but we keep that that alpha, right? And what I want to do actually is, so that I cut this alpha as well, is I want to multiply the RGBA. Okay, so the alpha, the original alpha, is cut by this mask also, right? I'm just gonna, because I don't like having all these panes open, I'm just gonna change this to 1, so it only shows one at a time. There we go. So now we can start kind of layering everything together. So we just use some merge. Sorry, not merge. Yeah, merges. I always forget, you know, going through between different packages what I'm using. So let's drop this over that, and they should sit together nicely. Press A again to show me the RGB layer. So there we go. We got our fire nicely comped into the background. Well, we've got the helicopter there. We got before this. Obviously, we don't have this fire, but you'll have the helicopter coming in and exploding. Okay. Let's grab another merge. And that's our background. Okay, and then another one for the those trees. So if we come forward here to about here, there we can see. So that's just frozen on the first frame of that fire. If you render the whole sequence, obviously it won't do that. So we've got these trees. I think a bit earlier. I've got this the wrong way around. So the background layer, it needs to be this, and the foreground layer is those trees. There we go. And now we got the trees in front. So I'm just going to disable all of these moments while I just work on the motion blur. So you can see that we don't have any blur on the trees in the foreground there, and not so much in the background either. So just drop in a motion blur. So the source goes in there, and this in here. There. So you can see already we're getting something. I don't want it to be too strong. I'm just going to drop this down to like 3 and give it some more samples so that it kind of smooths it out. So that looks fine. Now the background also, so the helicopter does, but the trees don't have so much. So we could just add some in on top. Okay. So the source in there, and then B connects into the bottom here. And we'll visualize that. So again, I'm going to give it more samples. I don't want to do, so it's adding more on top again to the helicopter, so I don't want it to be too aggressive. Just, oh, have I... 0.3. Let's just, if you press D, it's a handy way to see, you know, what you're doing. I think even less than that. Let's go half again, 0.15. Okay, that looks fine. It's not really affecting the helicopter too much, but it's giving us a good bit of blur on the trees. Okay, and now lastly I want to do the same for the actual explosion itself. So we come to frame 61 or 2, right, and drop another motion blur here. Okay, oops. Is that the source going in? Yeah, so the source going in there, and let's visualize that so you can see the effect already. Again, I don't want it to be too strong, just something pretty subtle. I'm going to bring this down to like 3, give it some more samples to smooth it out. So especially here on the, you know, as these parts are moving pretty quick, if we press D, you can see the effect on the kind of tips of the trails. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's all that I wanted to do here. Press D on them so that they're all activated. Visualize the end. Okay, obviously you can come in at any point here, so just after reading them in or after the motion blur maybe, you could add a grade, not there, to work on, you know, your colors, and let's see, you want to add some gain to it. Obviously not that much, but you know, you can come in and work on these. Also color correct if you wanted to. you know, grab, you know, working on specifically the highlights or shadows and so forth. You know, you can do that and play around yourself. I would do that, you know, with the explosion, maybe on the beauty itself and the helicopter. But in all honesty, it doesn't need much. It looks pretty good as it is. So I'm going to drop a right to save this out. Put that at the end. I'd probably save this in my D drive. And so into comps and call this heli explo, something like that. Okay, / same thing again, heli explo, and yes, same thing again, heli explo dot version 1, and then hash for your frame numbers, right? So we just got the 3, so we can just do 3 there actually. And then your file types, so I'd probably say them out in EXR again, or PNG, TIFF, JPEG, whatever you like. And then you can see there the options pop up at the bottom. And then when you're ready, just hit render. And then you can put in your frame range there. We've just done 100 frames in total, so change that. And then click OK. Just one more thing, if you forgot, like me, and you're getting an error, then check this box to create directories, so that, you know, if you're making directory folders that don't exist there, just check that before you render.